one who's graduating this year, so I'm almost halfway done. I shall thank Larry especially and Dr. Ignacio for helping me change the path I first took to analyze how theocracy in one country as an ideology of the state can impact the culture of minorities in other countries. Especially, I'm going to work on the impact of Iran on the growth of Shiism in Lebanon, in the country in which Shiites are minorities. Well, what is Shiism? First of all, I think that most of you have at least seen a Muslim in your life, but most probably a Sunni, because Sunnis are the majority of Muslims. The ones that have always been minority are Shiite, though you can see lots of text there. I'm working on the 12 words, which are of the highest number. The only country with the majority of Shiites is Iran, and they have gained power already. The increase in the number of Shiites in Iraq, surprisingly, happened after the invasion. And in Lebanon, which is my case study, although the number of Shiites have not increased, but the culture has gained a lot of hegemony. And now you can see, okay, now you can see that Hezbollah is gaining the popular vote, and through election, the very recent one, they've got the majority of the parliament, along with other allies who are coming from other minority sects. So what is Shiite ideology? I'm not talking about a religion, I'm talking about a culture. The culture of a minority group, which is based on 6 capstones. The leadership, justice, brotherhood, martyrdom, liberty, and Mahdaviya, which is waiting for a savior to come, which makes that movement go on and on. And let's see, well, there is a lot of literature there. People have looked at Shiism from different aspects and how it is growing, looking at Iran, and usually from a very mechanical way of looking at Iran, helping through money, finance, military, and etc. Very few of them, like Deeb, had the chance to do some qualitative research and feeling how the culture inside Beirut is changing among non-Shiites. Well, the lenses here have changed from my previous study of the same topic. It is Marxism. I mean by that, that the quote you can see, I'm not looking at religion as a theocracy, but or theology, let's say, but I'm looking at it as the way the oppressed express themselves. The process that happens is the way I look at the culture. I go through Hall's theory and Nickley. Read it if you haven't. So let's see. Through Marxism, it's a matter of looking at the civil society, how civil society is formed, and what is the relationship between the formation of the civil society and the intellectual property of the state. I'm comparing it with Gramsci's, the way that he looked at the civil society and the way the institutions are formed through the same process and how it relates to the state, and officer, how dynamic can those institutions work in accordance with the state ideology. But here I come with my very last question. I really narrowed it down and I came up with this very fundamental question. I'm talking about 2 different states, 2 different civil societies, Iran and Lebanon. So how transnationally can that ideology pass? Is it only through financial help? So what about the Christians in Lebanon? They are not being helped to get those culture. So this is what I'm going to, from now on, after reading all my literature and things done, to look at and find the answer. Thank you.
questions, comments for Shadyar?
Can you share more about how your research focus has shifted?
Oh yes, maybe some have not got any idea about it. Thank you. She's asking how it shifted. So at first I looked at it through only cultural studies, and I was so much, confused because I couldn't relate through any theoretical basis how I can relate one state ideology and another state and pop culture, and imagine they are not even sharing borders. So I was not coming to the answer until I got to know that I can find the answer in geography. And Dr. Knopp helped me a lot in finding where to look at. Thank you. I'm here to thank my chair and committee.
Yes. And I might be asking the wrong questions if I'm not understanding, so forgive me for doing that. Is part of it talking about how a lot of us probably think of Shiism and Sunnism as different, almost different religions within Islam. But is part of what you're talking about that you could also think of it as sort of cultural and elements of Shiism are now kind of influencing non-Shiite states.
Exactly.
So could you share some examples of what are those? I think you mentioned like Hezbollah becoming part of the leadership. Are there other elements that you could talk about?
Yes, let me just show you a picture. I think I missed it. Here it was. Have you seen this picture before? Somewhere, maybe some of you may have some jewelry with that picture if you have gone to countries like Lebanon, to Turkey. This is the whole ideology of Shiism, which is based on how leaders, 12 leaders there, they're saints, they walk you through the path, an ongoing path, because the 12th one, the last one, is not still there, is gonna come, so you have to do the movement. And remember this, Shiites have always been oppressed. So this is a part of Shiism that you cry. They cry. There is no fest, like a festival of dance and happiness and victory. They have always been defeated, killed, assassinated, and even genocide. So that rhetoric is going deeply into the culture in Beirut, where the majority are Christians.
So in the interest of time, again, I don't want to cut off questions for Shadyar, but I'd like to provide an opportunity for some more general discussion. If I could invite all 5 presenters to come up to the front.